and asked if I was speaking with Dr. Murray, and I believe he said yes, he was. I explained the reason for my call and told him that I wanted to know if this particular patient needed to continue his Plavix or if we could successfully stop it for the surgery.
And you, of course, advised Dr. Murray of the procedure that you were about to provide to this patient, correct?
Yes, yes.
So he had full details as to why you were seeking the information?
Yes.
And once you described the situation to Dr. Murray, what, if anything, was his response?
Dr. Murray was very clear and stated very clearly that the patient needed to continue the Plavix. He hadn't fulfilled the 6 months of the treatment with this medication, and that it would be better to postpone the surgery and wait for the 6 months period to finish before taking him to surgery, taking him off of Plavix.
Did Dr. Murray recall for you the proper dosage that his patient had been taking?
Yes.
And he properly advised you as to the time frame that this patient needed to continue taking this medication related to the procedure performed some months earlier by Dr. Murray. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Did it strike you as anything unusual that Dr. Murray, just upon your phone call, it was in the morning, correct?
Yes, I believe it was about 12 o'clock my time.
Did it strike you as unusual at all that you called this physician out of the blue to inquire about a patient and a procedure, and he was able to provide you with the answers so readily?
Yes, it was. And
why is that?
Oftentimes, when a physician is called, they may say, well, I'm not at my office, or I'm not familiar with that patient, or I haven't reviewed the chart for a while. Let me call you back. But in this case, Dr. Murray was very clear about the treatment and the need for the continuation of this medication. He was very clear about it.
He provided you with...
You said 12 o'clock your time. You mean Central Time in Houston?
It was in the summer, so it would be daylight saving Central Time.
Okay.
Yes, and just to clear that up, thank you, Your Honor. When you made this phone call, you were situated in Houston, correct?
Yes.
And you were calling Dr. Murray wherever he may have been when he answered his phone, correct?
That's correct.
Dr. Prashad, prior to testifying in court today, did you have an opportunity to review telephone records that contained the date and time of the call that you placed to Conrad Murray seeking the information about his patient as you've described for us?
Yes, I did.
I'd like to show you an exhibit that was previously marked as People's Exhibit 52. Your Honor, may I ask that the lights be dimmed, please?
If we may.
Dr. Prashad, if you would direct your attention to the overhead projector, do you recognize your telephone number on this chart? If so, there's a laser pointer right in front of you. If you could use it to indicate where you see your number. Would you read your number out loud, please?
Yes, 713-857-0134.
Is it
124? Pardon.
0124. And the time of that call, according to the telephone records, 10:20 a.m., correct?
Yes.
And you contacted Dr. Murray at the phone number 702-809-3747 that you had been provided by his clinic clerical staff member, correct?
That's correct.
And thank you, Your Honor. I'm ready to have the lights turned back up.
Mrs. Benson?
Thank you. The conversation you had with Dr. Murray was fairly brief, correct?
Yes.
He provided you with the information that you needed.
Yes.
And did you then make the determination with the other surgical staff members that this patient's surgery should be postponed due to a possible adverse effect with the medication that he was currently taking for the stent procedure?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Prashad. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Counsel, if...
Very brief.
All right, I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah, it won't be long, and then I know what you're going to ask, but it'll be very brief.
What am I going to ask?
About the break? Yeah.
And what's the answer?
I hope your answer is you'll let me ask a couple of questions.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chernoff?
Did you say Memorial Houston?
Yes, Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston, Texas.
I'm familiar with it. Welcome to L.A.
Thank you.
One of the questions was asked of you was about Dr. Murray's, about medical records, I believe, about the importance of medical records. That was one of the questions that was asked by Ms. Brazil just a few minutes ago, right?
Yes.
You're not saying that Dr. Murray or his staff did not have medical records on this particular patient, are you?
No.
No. In fact, Dr. Prashad, would it be fair to say that a lot of times when you call a doctor, when they say, I've got to look at my records, I've got to go back to my office, they don't remember the patient. Is that fair to say?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll overrule the objection. You may answer it. Goes to the witness's state of mind.
I'm sorry, would you...
A lot of times the doctor just doesn't remember the patient, doesn't remember the treatment.
That's correct.
But not Dr. Murray, right?
That's correct.
He knew the patient.
Yes.
He knew the treatment.
Yes.
He knew the protocol, the necessity to continue on with that medication.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say you were impressed?
That is true. I was impressed.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chernoff, thank you. Redirect, Ms. Brazil?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. May Dr. Prashad be excused. Ms. Brazil?
Yes, thank you.
Ms. Chernoff?
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Prashad, if you just give us a moment, let's let the jury leave, but if you can just remain for one moment. I want to thank you for your testimony. Please don't discuss either your testimony or the facts of the case with any other witnesses until we finish the trial. And once the jurors leave, you may step down and you may leave. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As to the jurors, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be taking your mid-afternoon break at this time. Please remember all the instructions, written and verbal. Enjoy your break. We'll take about a 15 or 20-minute break, and we'll give you the buzz, and you can give us the buzz. Thank you. Please watch your step.